Welcome to a new edition of the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino. On this episode, we talk with the founder of MindsetExplained.com, Stefan. His platform supports self-aware young adults in navigating life's challenges and taking the next step in personal growth. They do this by sharing real, relatable content on mindset, psychology, therapy, coaching, and personal growth. He created this platform as a space where curious minds can explore topics that matter, like mental health, emotional intelligence, self-discovery, and building resilience. All of this in a down-to-earth and inspiring way. From his base in the Netherlands, we get into quite a bit. Enjoy this interview. Well, hey, Stefan, it's so great to meet you. Thank you so much for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
You bet.
I really appreciate it. Yep.
You bet. So before we get into Mindset Explained and everything that you're doing, I want to begin with 5 years ago, the pandemic was raging. We were figuring it out. It hit the whole globe. How did you ultimately make it through the pandemic, and how has it influenced the way that you do work today?
Oh, that's a great question to start with. The pandemic, it feels like already centuries ago, but in fact, it's not so long ago. But I was working, and I was working remotely for the job I had at that time. And I tried to keep me busy with working out and walking outside. Everything that was possible in the limited restrictions. And also, reading for the things that I like. So about mindset and psychology and stuff like that. So I tried to keep me busy. Yeah.
For sure. So let's get into the work that you do right now. And the best way to figure out what someone does for a living is to put you in front of a group of children. So if I put you in front of a bunch of 12-year-olds at career day, and one of the kids in the back of the room was curious and was like, hey, what do you do for a living? What would be your answer?
That's a great way to frame it, because previously I was a primary school teacher, so I had this experience. And I would say now that I'm working as a coach, as a person who helps young adults finding their way in life. So I build a website, and I try to share as much as possible knowledge to as many as people as possible to help them in their journey. So that something like that, I would say probably, yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about what you want. What's that?
Sorry, I didn't say anything.
No, I'm sorry. Maybe there was an echo. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what did you want to be when you were 12 years old? What was your dream life?
Well, back then I want to be a footballer, so a soccer player, but unfortunately that was not happening. But I also noticed that I was really good at helping other people. So I really want to use my talents of making people comfortable and helping people. So that was already back then. It was in my gene or in my actions. But I also wanted to be an architect. So I had many dreams. But I think I followed my heart, and now I'm helping people with my coaching, and I'm helping people with the website. So somehow I fulfilled my dream a little bit.
So talk to me a little bit about your childhood and how you got to this point where you evolved from wanting to be a footballer to helping people and to kind of be to evolve to this career place that you're at now. What were the foundational seeds that were planted into you that allowed you to become who you are today?
Well, I think if I look back at how I was as a child and as a teenager, I was a little bit shy. I was a little bit quiet. But here I am today in a podcast. So there's a long way that I took, and I overcame a lot of challenges, and I challenged myself. And now I dare to speak up, and dare to show myself more in the spotlight. But I did a lot of self work, self development. I got a lot of help left and right from people. But most importantly, I dared to step out of the comfort zone a little bit more along the time. So I went to school. I was a primary school teacher, so I did a study for that. Then I worked in the company life also, and I worked for the government. So I have all kinds of different aspects of life I saw. And most recently, I finished a coaching study. So I'm a senior coach practitioner. And all of this together, along with the experience I have in the school that is called Life, um, made me the person I am today. And yeah, when I was younger, when I was a teenager, I was really also looking for some mentors or some guidance. And yeah, it was not so easy to find that. So that also inspired me a little bit more to start a platform like Mindset Explained to be that beacon of for many youngsters, hopefully, but also people who have a curious mind. Because I think if you have a curious mind, then you also have a young mind. So in that terms, age doesn't really matter for me. I consider you then as a young adult too.
So, speaking of being a beacon for young minds, who has been that beacon for you, that hero that's allowed you to evolve into this career path for that makes sense to you and to become who you are?
Wow, yeah, I think many people, and I didn't have really specific one person, but I think there were many people who I looked up to. For example, my old manager, I thought, wow, he's really great and he is in a high position. He is really successful. He has a lot of charisma. But also people from the sports world, like yeah, football or soccer, as you call it in America. Um, there were many people who had like this really big, how to say it, um, discipline and mentality, and had the right mindset. There are many big sports names who pops up in my head. Also in tennis, for example, Novak Djokovic, I think is really great. But also in football, like Messi and Ronaldo, these people are really big stars and really big examples of what you can achieve if you put in the discipline. And I think discipline and the right mindset with combination with some talents makes you unique, and that brings you to exactly the place where you want to be in life. For me, these people are really big examples.
So, I'm curious if you can meet anybody on the planet right now that you find fascinating or inspirational, who would you love to meet and talk to a little bit?
I have also on the website, I have one category I write articles about. It's called Great Minds, and I try to write an article about people I really admire. And one of these people is, for example, Dr. Daniel Amen. I think he does great work because he's like a scientist, but he is also a little bit out of the box thinking. So I like a little bit the people who are there to think differently, but also can how to say it, give good examples from scientifically proven theories. Another one is Joe Dispenza. I think he's also great. And yeah, if you look at people who are not here anymore, I would say if I could choose also these people, then I would say maybe Albert Einstein is he's a really great mind. So if I had the chance to talk to him one more time or one time in my life, then if that would be possible because he's not here anymore, but that would be great because I think the work that he did is also really, really, really important for the whole humankind.
So I'm curious in this modern era we live in, and this could be an American thing. There's so many people in the government, in one party particular, that is radiated out to a lot of people that don't believe science and they don't believe the facts of our environment and what's going on. And I think that extends to other things too. Are you afraid? And I know that there's kind of some pockets of people around the world in different countries that believe the same thing. Are you alarmed by humans and by people that don't trust science, that inherently believe that it's being fabricated or made up?
Yeah, I think it's yeah, the dangerous part of that is that I think everyone should be allowed to believe in whatever they want to believe. But where it goes wrong for many people is that they don't respect other people's opinions. And I think uh, if you have like a separation or deviation in the society, then that is dangerous. So I believe you can have a different opinion or a different view, or you cannot believe in science, or you do believe in science. But I think we all, at all times, we should look for to stay together and to be one. because if you are like if there's like separation, that is dangerous because then you get fights and then you get conflicts. But I think if you are able to be open-minded and respect someone else's opinion, then you're much stronger. And I think together we can achieve more. And yeah, I understand it's a really big and difficult topic, especially at this time in the world. So yeah, I think it's really important to keep an open conversation and to keep listening and not listen to reply, but listen to really understand each other.
So I'm curious, what gets you up every day? What motivates you to do the work that you do and also take care of your own soul? What is that motivation for you to do good work and to take care of yourself?
Yeah, I think what I did when I was younger, I was comparing myself with other people, but now I try to compare myself with myself. So I try to do every day a little better than yesterday, or even if it is just 1%, I just try to be a little bit better than yesterday. And with this mindset, yeah, that is already a big step in the right direction, I think. Um, but at the end of the day, if I look back at the day and it's full with things I have achieved, and I like to have like check boxes, like checklists to take off things off the list. That is really thing for me to do. And at the end of the day, if I achieve the small goals I set for that day, then I feel fulfilled and it gives me a good feeling. But overall, I think doing a little better than yesterday is a really big driver for me.
So let me ask you this. You got to kind of deal with some heavy stuff with your work and I'm curious if you were to walk into a room of people that know you in a professional sense that you've worked with throughout the years and you could walk up to a podium and tell them one fun story, one fun anecdote about you, what would you tell them?
Ooh, that's a really hard question to with a really fun question. Yeah, I think um, if you look at sometimes I try to put too many things in a day, and I'm running around like a chicken without a head or something, like we say in the Netherlands. But um, I think for many colleagues, I look like I'm calm, I have everything under control, but they wouldn't know that I'm inside. I'm sometimes also, yeah, it's going from left to right, and it's like really chaotic sometimes. But I never show that to the outside world. And yeah, I think if I would tell it to my colleagues, then I would be surprised because I'm always the one who is calm and keeps the overview. But yeah, that's not always what happens in the inside. And yeah, I think that's a good example of yeah, you never know exactly what's going on in someone. So also for that, try not to judge and try to keep an open mind.
So if you were to have a dream tonight, you ran into the 18-year-old version of you and you could give that young version of you a piece of advice based on this life you've lived and everything that all the wisdom you've gained, what advice would you give your younger self?
I would say to him, you are okay as you are. Just because if you can accept just that you are okay, that you are enough, then I think that is already a really big takes a really big part of the anxiety or the restless feeling in myself that I had at that time would take away. So I think with that realization, I could maybe enjoy a little bit more the present moment without worrying about the past or about the future. Um, I think that would be one thing I would definitely say to myself. Yeah.
So, of everything that you've done and accomplished in your life, what are you ultimately the proudest of?
I would say, yeah, Mindset Explain is definitely in the top three because I learned myself to build a website. I did the coaching study for 2 years. I put everything, it's a little bit like my life work as I see it. So I think I'm really proud of that. Um, yeah, and also all the achievements I have in my personal life. I think I have everything well set in my life. And yeah, I I can be proud of where I am at the moment, and But I think that Mindset Explained is definitely something I'm really proud of. Yeah.
So everyone out there has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, everyone that knows you, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
I think that I am someone who is very empathic. Is that the right word in English?
Yeah.
So I think I'm someone who is making other people feel safe and secure. I'm some person who is calm most of the times, as I already said before. Um, and I try to be an example for others by showing them the right mentality and try to do my best and to be the best version of myself in all aspects in life. I mean physical, for work. I try to be for my family and also the ones that are close to me. Um, yeah, that's how I see myself, and I try to be I try to tap in a little bit more in the creative side of myself also because I really like to write things and I create things. So yeah, that's some things that pop up now in my head.
So I got to know, wanting to be a footballer, if what's the best game that you've ever witnessed?
Well, I have to say yesterday was a really great game. So don't know if you watch football, but yesterday was Barcelona against Inter Milan, and it was, yeah, I think it was a long time I saw such a great game because everything was in it. There was a great tactics, there was great atmosphere, there were a lot of goals, and it was till the end. It was not very certain who would win the game. So it was really a great game, and yeah, if you are a little bit into football, I would recommend to watch it if you didn't watch it till now. But yeah, that was a good game.
So let me ask you this. If you could go into a time machine and go back in time and see any game, one game with your own eyes, where would you go?
Um, yeah, then I would say for my favorite team when I win the Champions League, and that's Ajax Amsterdam, and that was in 1994, 1995. So I was really young, but I saw that match on the TV, and that was the first time I fell in love with football. And I would be it would be really great if I could witness that game live. It's now 30 years ago, so yeah, that would be a great one. Yeah.
Right on. So I'm curious if anyone out there wants to reach out, they want to learn more, they want to get involved in your world more, where's the best place to go?
Yeah, definitely go to the website. That's mindsetexplained.com. You will find some really interesting articles about things that keeps me interested, but also things I want to share with the world. You can book a coaching session there for free. It's a free introduction session, and then we can explore together if I can help you maybe with the things you're bumping into. It can be anything. It can be something that you're really struggling with, or you want to do even better in life. So that's the place to go. You can send me an email on contact.mindsetexplained@gmail.com. And you can also go to the socials like Instagram and Facebook. If you type in Mindset Explained, then you will find the channels. And I think that's the most best way to contact me. Yeah.
Excellent. This has been wonderful. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your story. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you very much. And I really want to say thank you for the great questions. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been
And
fun. It's been great.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you for inviting me and for having me in the show.
Thanks for tuning in to another famous interview with Joe Dimino, where we cover the world of art, literature, business, spirituality, music, and more from around the globe. Our esteemed theme music was composed and produced by the great E.E. Pointer of Kansas City's River Cow Orchestra. If you want to hear more interviews, visit the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino channel on YouTube. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks again for listening, and until next time. Hello, friends. Joe Dimino here. I just wanted to let you know that after 30 years or so, I have finally released my first book of poetry through the mighty Spartan Press here in Kansas City, Missouri. As the creator and host of both Neon Jazz Radio and the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino podcast, along with being a visual artist, I'm ready to embark on a new adventure and want you to be a part of it. You can get a copy online via Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and actually on the streets in Kansas City at the great Prospero's bookstore off 39th Street. You can also visit joedimino.com for links to the book, to more poetry, and everything in my world, including paintings. Thanks for all of the love and support over the years, and please dig the words.